me by now. Welcome again, another 20-minute class today. I'm gonna get a little bit playful, maybe an arm balance or two. Blocks. If you've got them available and you're fortunate enough to have blocks, great. If not, a couple of thick books, anything like that. They're going to be here for support and just to stabilise the pose. Sometimes we can reach for the ground and we find our arms aren't long enough. It's not really open to us, so having a block or any kind of support, any solid object really, think of it as an extension to your arm. It's gonna support you in some of the poses. So then we can take the focus to the actual point of the pose and what we're doing there. Quick warm up and then a few standing poses and then possibly playing with arm balances, but using them as a transition. So not looking at them in too much detail today, just getting a little bit playful and seeing whether you can incorporate them into your day-to-day practice to try and keep it interesting, keep it varied, which can be a nice thing to do. To begin with, all fours, please. So we'll leave the blocks aside for now. Bring yourself to all fours position. So a tabletop position. So really spread the fingers as much as you can, checking wrists are under the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Either tops of the feet on the ground or toes tucked to your choice. Start to broaden the shoulder blades. We're going to go work with cat and cow breath first to warm up the spine. On your next inhale, so as you breathe in, dip the belly, lift the sit bones, lift the gaze. Lengthening the front of the body, mount the heart center, exhale around the back, push the ground away from you. Really empty every last drop of air, draw the navel to the spine, take the gaze to the navel between the top of the thighs. Inhale, look forward and up. Exhale around the back. Twice more, inhale. Good, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Flat back, soften the breath. Good. Let it go. We're going to work with switching on the front muscles of the body a little bit now. On your next inhale, right arm forward, left leg back. Toes pointing down on the left foot, so an inner rotation of the left thigh. Keep pressing the left hand down to keep the gaze just beyond the fingertips of the left hand. Back of the neck is long. From here, start to draw the front muscles of the body into the midline. So hugging the right knee over to the left, left hand over to the right. Notice the difference. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Release right hand, release left knee. Good. Second side. Left arm forward, right leg back. Again, really try not to stack the hips. So toes pointing down, slight inner rotation. Start to work on pulling the right hand to the left, left knee to the right, without lifting them, so dragging them together. You'll feel the difference in the front muscles of the body. Find the breath. 3, 2, 1. Release left hand. Good. Release right knee down to the ground. From here, we're going to move into our first downward facing dog of the practice. Really spread the fingers. Externally rotate upper arms. Pick up the feet, tuck the toes. Inhale to lift the knees. Exhale. Lengthen the spine, then begin to gradually straighten the legs up. Good, breathing. Working into it. You're going to dance first downward facing dog of the day. Send the hips left and right, pedal the heels down, walk it out. And then finding some stillness with the pose. Gaze to the navel or between the upper thighs. Shoulder blades broaden, knuckles pressing down. On your next exhalation, walk the feet to the hands, make your way to the top of the mat. Fingertips whenever you need to here, listen to the body. Take the hands to the shins. Inhale, flat back, lift and lengthen. Half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Release the hands, really let the arms be heavy. We're going to take a couple of breaths here. Give the head a shake, yes and no, release any pressure, any tension in the neck. From here, take the hands to the hips. Roll the shoulders back, elbows towards each other. Press the feet down. Inhale, come all the way up. Good. Exhale, palms to heart center. Good. So the feet about hip width apart. Pick up the toes, spread the toes, place them back down. Good. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, raise the arm. Good. Exhale, chair pose. Sit down into your seat. Utkatasana. Good, really try to keep the chest lifted. If you need to take the arms wider, that's fine. If the arms come forward, that's fine, but shoulders back. Open the chest, soften the gaze, soften the breath. Good, 3, 2, 1. Uttanasana forward fold. Let the crown of the head drop. Take the gaze to the back of the room. Inhale, flat back, lift and lengthen. Bend the knee, plant the hand. Step or jump back. High plank. On the next exhalation, come forward, lower down chaturanga or knees, chest. Tops of the feet on the ground. Bend the elbows into the sides of the body. Use the exhalation to lower down. Inhale. Take your back bend. Roll the shoulder heads back. Lift the chest. Good. As you exhale, push back through all fours. Downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Breathing here. And your next exhalation. Walking, stepping or jumping. Feet to the hands. Feel free. Bend the knees. Look to the hands. Fingertips. Jump forward. Inhale, flat back, lift and lengthen, roll the shoulder blades back. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, take the gaze back. Inhale, come all the way up, reach to right, lift. Good, exhale, palms to heart center. Good. Settle with the breath. Nice, inhale, raise. Good, exhale, forward fold, come down. Inhale, flat back, lift and lengthen. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step or jump. Good, exhale, lower down, knees, chest, or chaturanga dandasana. Hover in your chaturanga, play with it. Inhale, take your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. And on the next inhalation, raise the right leg. As you exhale, step the right foot through between the hands. Fingertips if you need to. Good, drop the left knee, top of the left foot comes to the ground. Good, I'm going to demonstrate from front on. Good, right leg is forward, I'm going to mirror you. Start to walk the right foot out to the edge of the mat, right hand comes inside. Start to move onto the outer edge of the foot. We're sending the right knee away from the body. Check in here, alignment. Now the ankle is under the knee, so it's not further forward. So if you know what I mean, it's under. If we find the ankle back here and the knee beyond, not good. So walk the foot forward. Even if we need to move the hands, get it there however you wish. Good. Square the shoulders off the chest, off to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Good. As you exhale, start to bend the elbows. Now this is where you may use your blocks or your books, coming down forearms on the blocks if that's open to you, or forearms down to the ground. Keep sending the knee out to the side of the body. So we're opening the hip, we're opening the outer edge of the glute, the buttock. With every inhalation, slight lengthening of the spine, draw the shoulder blades back. Every exhalation, folding. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back up. Good. Bring the sole of the foot back to the mat. Bring the right knee into the outer edge of the right shoulder. Good. From here, take your blocks, take your books. You may need them, you may not. Good. So we're framing the right foot at the top of the mat. From here, start to send the hips backwards, straighten the right leg. Bring the sole of the right foot away from the ground, then press through the ball of the right foot. Good. The hands, you may be on fingertips here. If you are, use blocks. Make it a little bit more stable here. Start to draw the right hip back. Inhale, lengthen, roll the shoulders back. As you exhale, start to fold. So you're going to feel this in the back of the hamstrings. A pose called Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Every inhalation lengthening, every exhalation folding forward. Breathe. Send the breath into the back of the leg. Try to relax the face. One more deep breath. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, fold. From here, place the blocks to the side of the body. Blocks, books, whatever you've got. Start to bend into the right knee. Walk the hands forward. Frame the right foot at the top of the mat, tuck the toes on the left foot, lift, extend, press through the heel of the foot, press the hands down, step right foot back, high plank, lower down. Inhale, take your back bend, cobra or up dog. Keep the arms active in up dog. Try not to lock the elbows and slump, but keeping them active. So a slight bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Notice the difference already. Right hamstring starts to feel a little bit more open. Inhale, raise the left leg, lift, extend the heel up and back into space. Exhale, bring it through. Drop the right knee to the ground, top of the right foot comes to the floor. Start to walk the left foot out to the edge of the mat, left hand inside. Square the shoulders, square the hips off to the top of the mat. Start to send the knee out to the side of the body. Again, this is where we get the alignment. Ankle over the knee. Shoulders back, heart center forward. As you exhale, start to bend the forearm. So this is where we may come down to blocks. It's absolutely fun. Work with the breath. The forearms on the ground. Fantastic. Every inhale, lengthen. Every exhale, fold. So find a level that suits you. Connecting with the breath. So as soon as we hold tension, as soon as we hold the breath, the body starts to tighten up. We start to lose the pose. 2 more breaths. Then heading, make your way back up to straight arms. Good. Blocks alongside the body. We may need them for our half split. Start to bring the sole of the left foot to the ground. Frame the left foot, walk it into the midline. Tuck the toes in the right foot. Hips back, straighten the left leg. Good. If you need the blocks, take the blocks. Good. Press through the ball, engaging the quadricep, releases the hamstring. Draw the left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good. So it's going to be subtle movements. Every inhalation, lift the chest up and over. Every exhalation, fold. We fold as we exhale. We create space. The lungs become smaller. Keep active. Keep pressing through the ball of the foot. Really trying to keep the shoulders back here. Even if you have to come a little bit higher. Listen to your body. One more breath. Lengthening on the inhale, folding on the exhale. Breathe. Relax. From here, start to bend the left knee. Good. Get rid of the blocks. We're done with them for some time. Walk the hands forward. Frame the left foot at the top of the mat. Tuck the toes on the right foot. Lift, extend. So we start to open up the left hip flexor. Press the hands down. Step left foot back. High plank. Exhale. Knees check. Chaturanga. Play with the hover. Build strength in the body. Inhale. Take your back bend, shoulders back, heart center forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. And here on your next inhalation, raise the left leg. As you exhale, step the left foot through between the hands. Drop the right heel. Inhale, come up with the arms. Warrior 2. Just for a breath here. Exhale, start to drop the hips. Good. Check in. Knee over the ankle, not beyond it. Back leg firm. Keep pressing down. Stay tall with the top of the body. So you may find this is happening. So stay tall. Imagine the crown of the head is being pulled up as the pelvis is being pulled down. Straighten the front leg. Hands to the hips. Square the feet off. Outer edges of the feet parallel with the shorter edges of the mat. Inhale, lift. Good. As you exhale, forward fold. Good. Hands come down to the ground. Or take your blocks if they're not comfortably there. Inhale, flat back. Lengthen, shoulders back. Press the knees back. Press the feet down. Exhale. Start to twist. Start to fold forward. Sorry. Crown of the head drops on or towards the ground. Take the gaze back between the legs. Work with the breath. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inner thighs back. Lift the sit bones. The next inhalation, start to come forward, flat back. Take a micro bend in the knees here. Exhale, hands come to the hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Good. Heel toe the feet towards each other if we need to here. Warrior 2, second side. Right toes pointing out. Left toes come in. Good. Square the hips off to the longer edge of the mat. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, start to bend the right knee, the front knee. Good. So again, we find ourselves forward. Come back. Stay tall. Lift the heart center. Good. Really, really bend into that right knee, that front knee. It's going to want to fall to the midline. Keep it out. Over the right ankle. Keep drawing the left shoulder back as you draw the right knee over to the right. more breath. Exhale, dropping the hips. Good. Back leg active. Keep pressing down with the left toe. Windmill the arms over. Frame the right foot. Lift the left heel. Hip will follow. Start to walk the right foot out to the edge of the mat. Good. Right hand comes inside. From here, left hand to the ground. Start to bring it back. Maybe 10, 11 o'clock. Left elbow is going to come into the midline of the body. This is where we start to get playful with the transitions. Start to drop belly button onto the back of the left upper arm. Right inner thigh onto the back of the right leg. Maybe lift 2 legs off the ground. Good. If we are there, extend the right leg straight. Spread the toes. Lift the gaze. Stay here. Lift, extend. Come back. Downward facing dog. Good. Breathing. Walking it out. And next inhalation, raise the left leg. Good, exhale, bring the left foot through. Good, so we're going to work with the arm balance on the second side now. Walk the left foot out to the edge of the mat, left hand inside, right leg is lifted. Good. I'll demonstrate from front on. So we're in this kind of dropping lunge position. We're going to really take the left foot out as much as we can go. Bend underneath, so the upper arm is the shelf. From here, right arm back. We're going to bring the elbow into the midline of the body. So start to drop. Lift, then lift the back leg. Lift, extend, spread the toes. So what often happens in the pose, what I see happening with students, is we don't catch under here, we come here, so there's nothing pressing against it. So this, you may be finding yourself doing this, coming forward and then this. So we really need to plug it underneath. That's where this slight external rotation of the forearm comes in. So we're dropping onto it. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Extend both legs straight. If it's open to you, use control. Step back, downward facing dog. On your next exhalation, drop the knees to the mat, take the knees wide, sit back on the heels, Balasana, child's pose. Restorative version, arms alongside the body, third eye, eyebrow center, rest down. And let it go. Start to lift the gaze. Good. Bring the knees together, sit back on the heels. Good. And give the wrists a little bit of a shake out, putting pressure in them through downward facing dog, through the arm balance. So circles in, circles out, whatever works with you. Good. Squeeze the sweat, it's about 33 degrees here in Goa. It's really warm. Bring on the monsoon. Nearly there. Nice, come back to all fours, bring the hips over the knees once again, spread the knees hip width apart, spread the fingers. I just want you to make circles, so clockwise, anti-clockwise, bringing movement back to the wrists. Releasing any pressure, any tension build up. Again, knees together, sit back on the heels, one last shake out with the wrists. Hips one side, swing the legs around to the other. Good, we're going to work with the forward fold to close the practice to calm the nervous system. A pose called Janu Sirsasana, which means forehead to knee pose, even though Janu's knee, Sirsasana, whichever. So start to bring the sole of the right foot to the ground. I'm going to mirror you, I'm going to do the opposite. Bring the sole of the right foot in, so we really want to close this knee hinge joint. And then we outer rotate the hip. We take the outer edge of the thigh down towards the ground. If you're like me, hips aren't particularly open. We have this space. This knee is floating about in space. This is where your blocks or your books come in. Plug it underneath. So we've got support. We've got something to lean on. It can be on any height, whatever works with you. Sit tall in your seat. Lift the heart center. Begin to engage the sole of the left foot. So press through the heel of the foot. We're bringing the toes in towards the nose. Plugging the thigh back into the pelvis. Inhale, lift, raise the arms. Take the gaze between the hands if that helps you. Good. As you exhale, reach forwards and up. Reach, 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 reach. Good. From here, taking outer edges of the foot. Feel free, work with a belt. If we're not quite there at the leg, or hands can come down to the shins, wherever we are. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Work with the breath. Every inhale we lift, lengthen. Every exhale we forward fold. If there's pressure in the knee, if there's pain in the knee, please release. Good. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhaling. Lengthen the spine. Lift the heart center. Good. Exhaling. Forward fold. Good. Inhale. Raise the head. Release the hands. Walk the hands back into the body. Release the block. Open the hinge joint of the knee. Give the legs a shake out. Second side. So this time, sole of the left foot comes to the ground. Really, really draw it in. Start to engage the right leg, so press with the heel of the foot and then open the hip. So then we want to pad. If the outer edge is comfortably on the ground, good for you. That's absolutely fine. You won't need a prop. But if you're anything like me, hips are reasonably tight, pad it out. Listen to your body. Don't force it. So really, really engaging the right leg. Inhale, lift. Lengthen the arms. Take the gaze up between the hands if that works for you. As you exhale, reach forward and up. So we're really, really lifting, lifting, lifting. Good. Then taking the outer edge of the foot, or working with your prop, with your belt, with your strap, or working with the shin. Inhaling, lift, exhale, forward fold. If you're like me and it starts to come away, move the block in. We're protecting the knee. You're going to need your knees. You're going 3 breaths. Inhale, lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, exhale, fold. So notice I'm keeping my gaze beyond the foot. I'm not rounding the back. I'm not forcing the forehead to the knee, even though, despite the name of the pose, last breath, inhaling. Exhaling. And start to take the gaze forward. Release, release, release. Close the hip. Open the knee. Give the legs a shake out. Release any tension from them. Wobble the feet in and out. From here we're going to work with twists to close the practice today. So soles of the feet to the ground, top of the body, supine, lying down position. Good. Cactus arms. External rotation of upper arms, palms facing up. Inhale fully. Good. As you exhale, drop the knees over to the right, gaze over the left shoulder. Good. So we're not forcing them down here, we're just letting gravity play a part in the practice today. Last couple of breaths, inhale. Exhale. Inhaling, come back to center, neck in neutral, soles of the feet come to the ground. Realign the hips. If you need to bring the pelvis into the midline of the body again, that's absolutely fine. Inhale, fully breathe in. Exhale, knees drop over to the left. Gaze over the right shoulder, if that feels open to you, or keep looking straight up. Right shoulder blade, right scapula, try to keep down. In your next inhalation, come to center. Realign the hips, realign the pelvis once again if you need to, and then exhale, give yourself a hug. So curling up in a ball, any movement left and right, and massaging, releasing the lower back. And then softening down into your Shavasana relaxation. Tuck the shoulder blades under, external rotation of upper arms, let the legs soften. Let it all go. Allowing the body to rest. Taking as long as you need it. Softening down. It'll allow you to close your practice in your own way, so take as long as you need in Shavasana. Feel free to drift there for hours. In the meantime, thank you for practicing with me today. Check back in the next few days for a few more videos. Namaste.